Okay, so let's dive straight into this. There's been a major development in that Soulja Boy lawsuit.
Right, the one filed back in 2021 by Jane Doe. The verdict just came down today, Thursday the 10th.
And it's pretty significant. The jury ordered him to pay $4 million.
$4 million. Wow, yeah, that's the headline number for sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just a general finding, was it? They were specific about why.
No, not at all. They found him liable for intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Which is serious in itself.
Definitely. And sexual harassment, and also non-payment of wages. Those three things specifically.
When you put those three together, well, it suggests the jury found some serious wrongdoing there.
It certainly points to them finding, compelling evidence on those fronts, but they didn't agree with everything the plaintiff claimed.
Right, that's important too. The claims about false imprisonment and constructive discharge, those were dismissed.
Constructive discharge. That's basically feeling like you have to quit because things are so bad, right?
Exactly. Your working conditions are made intolerable. So, yeah, the jury drew a line there. They believe some parts, not others.
Which makes you wonder, what evidence really swayed them on the emotional distress and harassment, but maybe not on the false imprisonment part.
Well, let's look at what was being argued. The plaintiff's lawyer, Ron Zambrano, was aiming really high. He argued for, what was it, $73.6 million?
$73.6 million. Yeah, I mean, that figure alone grabs your attention. That's an enormous sum.
It is. And to justify that, Zambrano presented some really, really disturbing details during the trial.
Yeah, the allegations were severe. We're talking about claims of rape.
And physical assault, too. Not just minor stuff, but like punching, kicking, even cutting was mentioned.
Wow, and threats with a gun, a Draco gun apparently, and being locked in a room. It's a pattern of alleged, really coercive control.
That combination, the physical violence claims and the being locked up, it paints a very dark picture.
Absolutely, and then there was that text message. That piece of evidence could have been huge.
Oh, right, the text allegedly from Soulja Boy saying, "I hope he dies slow."
Exactly. I mean, if the jury believed that text was real and from him, well, that's incredibly stark. It speaks volumes about potential animosity and intent.
No kidding. It makes the emotional distress claim seem much more concrete, doesn't it? Like direct evidence.
For sure. It cuts through ambiguity.
And it sounds like Zambrano also went after Soulja Boy's courtroom appearance, too.
Yeah, trying to shape the jury's perception. He apparently called the suit and glasses an act.
A 4-week act, I think he said. Trying to imply he wasn't capable of the alleged violence.
Right. Basically saying, don't be fooled by this cleaned up image. This isn't the real person my client dealt with. It's a common tactic, trying to undermine credibility.
But Soulja Boy's lawyer, Ricky Ivey, pushed back hard.
Of course. He called that $73 million number grossly exaggerated and unfounded.
And said the same about the allegations themselves, so completely opposite stories being told.
That's the core of it, isn't it? Two conflicting narratives. The jury's job is to wade through all that and decide what's believable based on the evidence. Ivey was clearly arguing it was all overblown, maybe for money.
Going back to the original lawsuit details from 21, some of those specific incidents described were, frankly, horrific.
Like the one where it was claimed he punched her until she was unconscious.
Yeah, and then she supposedly woke up locked in a bedroom, no mattress, no food, no water.
God, that level of detail, the alleged deprivation after an assault, it implies extreme cruelty. Just wow.
And there was another claim about being locked up, wasn't there, when she tried to quit?
Yes, locked in a room for about 3 days, supposedly, against her will.
And a detail about having no hot water the whole time until she was, quote, coerced into not leaving.
That one seems to directly relate to the false imprisonment claim, the one the jury didn't uphold.
That's true. Good point.
So, you have this detailed account, but the jury didn't find it met the legal standard for false imprisonment, even if they believed other parts of her story. Maybe the specific type of confinement wasn't proven to their satisfaction.
Could be. The legal definitions can be very specific. It shows they likely looked at each claim separately, applying the law to the evidence for that specific charge.
And this wasn't a quick trial either. It lasted nearly a month.
A whole month. Yeah, that suggests a lot of information was presented. Witnesses, documents, cross-examinations.
Definitely. They would have heard detailed testimonies, seen those text messages we talked about, really had time to consider everything.
So the outcome, this $4 million judgment, it shows the jury found merit in some really serious claims. The Emotional distress, the harassment, the wage issue.
Right. But they also clearly didn't accept everything wholesale. They didn't go for the massive $73 million, and they dismissed those other charges. It feels like a nuanced decision, perhaps.
Yeah, based on the specific evidence they found convincing for each part. It really just underscores how complicated these cases are.
Absolutely. Difficult for the jury, trying to sort out conflicting stories, and obviously incredibly impactful for everyone involved, no matter the verdict.
It leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the challenges of proving these things in court and what justice looks like in situations like this.
It really does. When you see a verdict like this, finding liability for some terrible things but not others, and awarding a significant but much smaller amount than requested, what does that tell us about navigating these really painful, complex human stories within the legal system? There are rarely simple answers, are there?